As has been anticipated much of the season, Brady Hoke's 4th season at Michigan will be his last. Hoke relieved of his duties by interim athletic director Jim Hackett on Sunday. Bonnie Bernstein, Doug Chapman in our Campus Insiders studios. Your reaction to the firing?
Something had to be done. You do it now, sooner than rather later. It's a situation where this program needs to get rid of the question marks. Who's going to be our coach? What direction are we going? Recruits are going to want to know those questions. So now as you hit the recruiting trail, which is the most important thing when you're trying to turn a program around, they're not going to say, is the guy there now going to be there? You fire him now. I like Brady Hoke. Dealt with him when he was at Ball State. Great guy. Just wasn't getting the job done. If you're Michigan, take a step in the proper direction. This was the right step. You got to get it done sooner than later.
And you got to keep in mind, too, that the Florida opening has now been there for a couple of weeks. So from a recruiting standpoint, that's important. Based on the needs in Ann Arbor, and we know the needs are more on the offensive side of the ball than the defensive side of the ball, who would be your prime coaching candidates?
Well, it's almost Christmas. So if I'm a Michigan man or a huge Michigan fan, I would love to see Les Miles or Jim or John Harbaugh on the sideline. But if you're looking at my candidates, I'm looking at the national landscape. They've got to get some things going offensively. Look at Dan Mullen, head coach at Mississippi State. Look what he did at Utah with Alex Smith. Look what he did at Florida with Tim Tebow and Chris Lee. Look what he's doing now with Dak Prescott down there in Stark Vegas, which like they like to call it. Quarterback play at Michigan has been horrible. Let's just be honest about it. They need someone in there to go turn that around. Dan Mullen might be that guy. Gus Malzahn had a lot of success in 1 year at Auburn. Look down the list, David Shaw at Stanford, a name that's always going to be there, a model of consistency since he's been there, on and off the field, high character guy. But Greg Schiano's an interesting name as well. Turned that Rutgers program around, didn't have so much success at Tampa Bay. He's humbled now. I think he's better suited for the college game than he is the pro game. Don't leave that name Greg Schiano off your list if you're looking for a Michigan coaching job.
And you know he definitely wants to get back in coaching. Well, Michigan may not be ranked, but by and large, I think most people still consider this one of the top programs, one of the premier programs in the country. How much so is that in your mind?
Absolutely, it's still premier. You know, you look at the wins and losses, that may not say so when you look at it that way, but Michigan is one of the top coaching jobs in all of college football. I grew up in the state of Virginia, and I was a huge Michigan fan. It's a big-time program, a big-time job. They just got to find the right guy to get the wins to outweigh the losses to get it back to a big-time program. It'll be back. Don't worry, Michigan fans. You'll be back.
I'll tell you what, that 2011 season, the 11 wins, the overtime victory against Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl does seem so long ago. Brady Hoke receives his pink slip, and the search is on for the 20th head coach for the University of Michigan.